Hey there, everybody. Cathy McLeish back here with Alcoholism Unpacked. I've been sober over 30 years, and probably what I'd love to do with these videos is to raise a little awareness about what alcoholism is, why we struggle with it if we do have a problem, and how we can be more aware, more knowledgeable if someone we love is struggling with the disease of alcoholism and we don't want to be a part of their problem, but maybe a little bit of their solution. So today we're going to talk about relapse. Why do we relapse? Why would I relapse if I was trying to stay sober? And by relapse, I mean, why would I go back to drinking? Why would I turn away from something that is working, which would be sobriety ideally, and go back to the way that it was? Well, the first thing that I'm going to say, and none of these are excuses, so don't hear what I'm not saying. The first thing I would say is I would relapse because it is the most natural thing for this alcoholic to do. If I were trying to stay sober, trying to stay away from a drink, and something happens, something triggers me, somebody comes into my life that is an old drinking person, a buddy, a million and one reasons that, are symptoms of my old life. If those would happen to happen, the most natural thing for me to do is to turn to a drink. It is a habitual thing that I've done for years and years. I was drinking every day, all day long. In my early days of sobriety, I would open the refrigerator, and because I had an alcoholic spouse who was still in the home drinking alcoholically, I would often go in the refrigerator for something else and pick up a beer because that is what I had done for so long, day after day, month after month, year after year. So why would I relapse? One, it is the most natural thing for this alcoholic to do. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to work against that all day long for at least the first weeks, if not months, in order for that habit to change. And so what I need is to put some tools in place that are going to help me with that. And one is accountability. To be alone trying to recover is a very, very destructive thing to do. It's almost like self-sabotage. I cannot do it alone. And unfortunately, that's one of the hardest things for this alcoholic mind, is because I want to fix me by myself. But I can't fix me with the same mind that has dug me into this ditch year after year. So I need some thinking. I need some perspective. I need tools outside of my own thinking. I need accountability. And, maybe that is a phone call to a friend that I know has gotten sober to say, how did you do this? Can you help me? Maybe it is getting into treatment. If I'm like I was, drinking every day, all day long, I should not try to detox all by myself. It's a very dangerous thing to do. You can die detoxing by yourself without any resources if you do not know what you're doing, if you have been, to the point where your body is dependent on alcohol to survive. So you don't want to take any of those kind of chances. So accountability, support, some kind of a system that can help me do what I have not been able to do by myself. Whether that is outpatient therapy, whether that is the therapist I've been talking to every week and I have not been totally honest, whether it is the doctor that I've gone to with all these other health problems that basically, if I really wanted to look at the truth, probably stem from the way that I treat my body, how much alcohol I'm putting into my body. I had all of those things in place and none of them were working for me because I could not be honest. So to be accountable in an honest nature to somebody, something, a program, even a 12-step program. You can make a phone call, you can walk in to a meeting or an organization, any day of the week, almost any hour of the week now, and say, I can't do this anymore. I need some help. I need some direction. So why would I relapse? One, it's the most natural thing for me to do. And two, because I have no accountability. Nobody knows that I'm trying to do anything any different. And so I have no kind of support system to help me when I'm weak, when I'm frustrated, when I'm angry, when I don't know what the next step to take is. And so accountability The one thing I would say about that is it would really help if I was accountable to somebody that really understood the disease of alcoholism. And now somebody may have been walking the walk with me and seeing my alcoholism, a parent, a spouse, a sibling for the last 20 years, but that doesn't mean they understand alcoholism. To stop drinking, to continue on without relapsing, means for most of us, if not all of us, abstinence, total abstinence. So if I am with somebody and accountable to somebody that thinks all I need to do is dial back my drinking, this alcoholic would be right back drinking, because for me to take one drink is for me to go right back into that lifestyle, and then I would find myself drinking the same way that I was drinking in a matter of days or weeks. So I need accountability, and I also need some kind of consistency. Early on when I got sober, some of the things that I did was I committed myself to being certain places at certain times so that people would see me, get to know me, and count on me as being part of that group. And so I did just that as a young mother. I would say Wednesday nights, Saturday mornings, and Monday nights, those are the days that I'm going to go and take care of me and take care of my difficulty with not drinking, be in this atmosphere where people are going to help me, show me the way, give me tools, and that is what I'm committed to. And even though I was in a very kind of destructive atmosphere, I had a spouse who was still drinking, I had kids that were not, used to any kind of continuity in their life, I became consistent in the things that I was doing for recovery, and then people became very aware that that's what I was doing, and they were supportive of it. Not so much my spouse, that was a battle that I had the whole first year of sobriety, but I'm here to say I got through that battle. I did what I needed to do for myself, and if that meant taking my kids somewhere, if that meant bringing a babysitter in, I had to do the things that I needed to do to stay on that path. So I needed consistency. I needed accountability, telling somebody, I will be there. I will do that. I will meet with you one-on-one, and you can help me to redirect my life so that I'm not continuing to do the same bad habits and the same poor decisions. I was running things by someone besides myself, somebody that had walked the walk before me and was having success in the areas of my life that I was failing, literally failing in. And then lastly, this alcoholic in recovery had to do the things I did not want to do. I would wake up every morning and I did not want to do the day in this constructive way that was, required of me in order to change my life. As an alcoholic, I was very undisciplined. I did what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And if that was a problem for you, you would have to deal with it while I took another drink. And so coming out of that type of living was just so counterintuitive for me. And basically, one guy summed it up and he said, here's what you got to do. Don't do what you want to do. Do what you don't want to do. And it was as simple as that. Most of the time, what I needed to do in recovery was what I did not want to do. And what I wanted to do in my life to feel good instantaneously was what I was not supposed to be doing. And so that simple structure of being accountable to someone, staying away from the things that are going to trigger me and send me right back into relapse, having some consistency in my daily life so that I was building new habits with new people, in new places, hearing new things, and then simply doing the things that I did not want to do. It didn't take forever for me to start to enjoy and embrace the new life because the rewards were very plentiful pretty quickly on. And that is one of the most, significant benefits of sobriety. There are things that happen that, almost instantaneously that made me feel better about myself, my life, physically, mentally, spiritually, and those started to build some momentum in me wanting to do the things that I really did not want to do. But for weeks early on, for months early on, there was a big part of Cathy that was saying, God, I can't do this. God, I don't want to do this. God, do I have to do this? Why don't you do this? And I can have an easier, softer life. And it wasn't meant to be that way. But coming out on the other side, I cannot tell you how glad I am that I took that journey and that I took that path and I stuck to it long enough to understand that this was the better way to live. All of those lies I was telling myself, all of those lies, the people that I used to drink with and run with and play with and, go downhill with, all the lies that they were telling me, I found out that it wasn't the truth, and that living true to me, doing the things that I really wanted to do to feel good about myself and to be good and accountable and reliable for the people that I loved in my life, that's what made me feel good without a drink. So thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Subscribe and follow, and please be part of the solution for raising awareness about alcoholism so that it is not the destructive thing that it is in so many people's lives today. Thanks.